Hey guys, it's Jacob from Printability, and today is day 2 of my daily logs on the Glide car project, patent pending. So today I didn't really draw a lot, but a lot has actually happened. So we're going to start off with a rough drawing here, and this drawing is a rough layout of where I want the bolts to be that is the 8th segment, kind of drawn in a 2D drawing. So it's going to have two bolts coming in every side. And I discussed bolts last time, but I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to do. But yeah, it's going to be two bolts holding each part together from each angle. So it's going to be quite heavy, but I decided that I would buy some heavy duty bolts. Now, these are probably not going to be used in the actual project because at the end of the day, I want to be using bolts that I can do up with an Allen key because then I'll be able to get them in tighter holes. These ones are hex nut, probably not going to be ideal, but they'll be good to test with, and I can look up some sizes when I'm designing the actual holes for the balls because I need it to all be flush on the surface. But that's a whole other video. I need a whole video describing how I've designed it and everything, and that will be coming. And actually, it doesn't look like it's going to be too far away because, drum roll please, boom, I have a functioning 3D printer, which I didn't think I was going to have for at least another month. And it's kind of thrown a spanner in the works in a way, because I was kind of expecting I could take a bit of time, I could work on some other parts, and just kind of get a rough idea of exactly how I want this to look before I design it. But now I have a functioning 3D printer, which is brilliant because I haven't been able to print since I printed this. Now, unfortunately, as you can see there, this failed pretty horrifically, and it actually broke my my End of 3 Pro, which is brand new, which really sucks. And I was going to go back to using my Flashforge Finder, which is my old classic. I've had it for about 5 years, 4 or 5, something like that. And that one is also broken, which is great. But the part came today, and I tested it, and it worked. And I 3D printed a little Lego man. Not that I can find him right now. I must have dropped him somewhere. But I 3D printed a little Lego man and realised that the new nozzle that I got for it was slightly longer by like 0.5 of a mil than the previous one, which I was like, okay, that's probably not too bad, but why did the Lego man take so long to come out? So I was like, okay, this was quite difficult. I'm going to do a much larger print, so I'm going to do this, but it does a little rim around the side. So I was like, okay, I'll keep an eye on it whilst it's doing that. And this is jamming the printing nozzle into the bed, which is an issue that I actually had with the Flashforge Finder, with the Ender 3 Pro, the new one. So I was like, oh no, okay, stop this instantly. What's going on here? Realised what it was and undid the nozzle beds. Well, technically did them up to lower the bed down a bit from the nozzle. And it seems to be printing like perfect now. It's an hour and 40 minutes, and I'm taking intervals to check to make sure that it's still printing correctly, to make sure there's proper layer adhesion. It's got new filament. It's got a new filament loading system, new gears, new holder, everything, and a new nozzle. So the only thing that isn't new really is the fan and the probe to make sure it touches in place in the actual heated compartment. This is a print in place printer as well, which I find a lot easier to use. There's no shifting around with the chance of the nozzle kind of coming off a little bit from vibrations. I think it's amazing. And I think from now on, I'm probably going to stick to print in place 3D printers and just upgrade them as I go along. But yeah, that's the really good news, and I'm so excited. And it's just going to put a bit more pressure on me because now I can finally design the ball mount, which is brilliant because this actually connects into it. Now I probably have about a week until I have a fully fledged ball mount, which means now I need a ball to go on there. And obviously, that means I need to buy rubber and everything for it, but that is a slight different issue. Obviously, we talked about this in a previous video actually. Yesterday's, if you aren't caught up, you can always go to the beginning of the series and just watch them through. They're only between 5 and 10 minutes. In fact, this one's almost already at 5 minutes. But yeah, so I have to work out the whole rubber issue, making a mold for it. I'm also going to have to make a rotating system on the multiple axes to make sure that it's constantly flowing. But that's something I'm going to worry about. Make a video on how I do that as well. But right now, I just need to focus on making this ball. Now, I also realised that designing the ball itself in each segment is going to be a slight issue. Whereas I showed you those bolts earlier, these ones here, show you again. Unfortunately, I need to make sure that each one of those bolt holes is perfectly in line with the previous one. And I didn't design it like that when I made the parts. So I've got bit of a bump there, but I think what I can work out is if I work out the radius, which is going to be the same each time, it's going to be 250. I can then work out the thickness of the wall I want it to be, which would probably be about 245, make it about 5mm gap. It's probably going to be ideal. Might make it to a 10mm wall, but I think 5mm will probably be strong enough, especially if I make it 100% plastic. I don't know. I'm still working on that, depending on printing times and stuff. We'll test the strength. But doing that, then I can work out exactly how far the bolt will stick out. So I've got to make the radius of the bolt, and then I've got to make another radius in the semicircle and make it slightly less than, or no, slightly lower down than the radius needed for the bolt to be in line with the outer edge. So if I make it maybe 2 or 3mm slightly lower down, means when these bolts go into their holes and then either get cut off or whatever, they will be perfectly flush with the outer edge. There'll be a gap there, but I think what I might do is put some plugs in there that I'll 3D print. I don't know. I've got some rubber plugs, rubber 3D printing filaments, so I can make the plugs out of those. I think that would be brilliant. That's pretty much it for the rest of this video. I think I've kind of covered all the bases there. But yeah, I'm going to make a radius. Then I can line the holes up there. And then what I'm going to do actually, before I end the video, so I'm going to make a block as well so that the holes for the bolt to go through have a bit more of strength to hold each other together and have a flat edge to be pulled together, because I feel like if it's got the curved edge, it might try and pull into a bit more of an angle, which I really don't want. I want this to be perfectly flush. I want this to be flawless. So I think there's no point me literally cutting corners and cutting plastic. I might as well use a bit extra, have a bit more like filament and stuff being wasted. I don't mind that for support material. I mean, it's going to need a lot anyway. 3D printing a curve, I'm never going to be able to not have support material. So I think that's going to be ideal. I think that's it for the video now. I know, touch wood, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have a good day. Keep watching the series, give us a little follow, little like, everything like that, subscribe even, and all my links will be in the description below, and hope you guys enjoy.